How did the French Revolution impact America? We tend to think about the French Revolution when we celebrate French culture on Bastille Day or when we hear the Marseillaise. On the other hand, we might simply associate the French Revolution with Robespierre's Reign of Terror or the notorious execution of Marie Antoinette. The French Revolution, however, had a major impact on America's political system and her role in the world. The French Revolution led to a rise of political parties in America. It also led to tensions with France, one of our most important allies during the Revolution. And lastly, it led to a period of conflict in Europe that allowed America the ability to strengthen its position in the world. 1789, the French Estates General called a redress of the French people's grievances. The next year, the people decided to call for a constitutional monarchy. In 1791, Louis XVI feared for his life and tried to flee the country. The next year, the revolutionaries attacked the king's palace and took him to prison. In 1793, they executed Louis XVI and the Reign of Terror began. In 1794, France began a war. They abolished Christianity and started a new religion. In 1795, the Directory was formed and Napoleon became famous. The next year, the Royalists' uprising was crushed and Napoleon won the Battle of Arcola. 2 years later, Napoleon was sent to Egypt to spread the revolution. And just the next year, he established the consul and ended the revolution. George Washington once said, however, political parties may now and then answer popular ends. The founders did not want parties to begin with, but they were started with those for and those against helping the French. These two parties were the Democratic Republicans, which were led by Thomas Jefferson, and the Federalists, led by Alexander Hamilton. We can see the differences in opinion in the election of 1800. It was mainly between the two main candidates were Jefferson and Adams. Jefferson was for the Democratic Republicans and Adams was for the Federalists. Adams and Jefferson had a big rivalry going on. Adams blamed Jefferson for having affairs with his slaves, while Jefferson accused Adams of being a lady. Adams ended up winning and served for 4 years, but was unable to win the next one, and Jefferson won the next election and served for 8 years. Later on, they became good friends, and they both died on July 4th, 1826. There was much tension with France during these years. This strained the Franco-American alliance, which was made soon after the American Revolution. One man named Genet came to America to recruit soldiers for the French Revolution. Aaron Sutter said, Genet had been sent to the United States of America to gather support for the French regime. To help solve these tensions with France, 3 men who were sent to France, 3 men who were American diplomats were sent to France. This was called the XYZ affair. They met with a former cardinal named Talleyrand. He had become an atheist and gave all his land to the French Revolution. But when the 3 diplomats got there, this cardinal required $250,000 to meet, which is now over $7,000 $7,310,000. He also wanted a $12 million loan from America, which is now worth $350 million. One interesting story is when this cardinal was dying. As I mentioned earlier, he was an atheist. But on his deathbed, he gathered all the people he had hurt and betrayed. He gave short speeches to everyone. At the end of this line, some priests came. Talleyrand repented and prayed to become a Christian. He died only seconds later. The French Revolution gave America the ability to strengthen its world position. Britain tried to take back the American colonies in the War of 1812, which went from 1812 to 1814. Thomas Jefferson, as president, bought the Louisiana Territory for around 3 cents an acre because France was trying to get some more money. Because of Jefferson buying the Louisiana Territory, the slaves in Haiti started a revolution called the Haitian Revolution of 1791. These slaves worked on the sugar plants there and were of African descent. They revolted, and when the French sent soldiers over and tried to reclaim, but died quickly because they did not have an immunity to diseases there. There was a lot of people didn't want for Thomas Jefferson to buy Louisiana. He said, "I know that the acquisition of Louisiana has been disapproved by some, but this did not stop him." The French Revolution had a major impact on America's political system and her role in the world. The French Revolution led to a rise of political parties in America, to tensions with France, one of her most important allies during the American Revolution, and a period of conflict in Europe that allowed America the ability to strengthen its position in the world. Thank you.